Haji Yaya AJJ Jame, Gamtel Staff Association presents Independence Grand Annual Fundraising Gala Dinner. Dance and show live with the Crown Prince of Mbalakh, Aliwin Bander and the Setsima, Bab Chopet Borom Yusa, Joletal, the King of Kora, Jaliba Kuyate, and many more young Gambian artists. Friday, the 17th of February, mega gala dinner at the Oceanfront Senegambia Beach Hotel. Corporate tables available, individual $1,000. Saturday, the 18th of February, grand dance at the Independence Stadium, BAKAU. Admission $400. And Sunday, the 19th, the Independence Stadium VIP $400. Ordinary tickets $250. All in support of Operation Save a Baby, the President's Empowerment of Girls Education, Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital, Gamtel Staff Endowment Fund. For bookings and inquiries, dial 9986414, 9986188, 9971124, or 9966461. Officially sponsored by Gamtel and Gamcel Yaibaron.
Welcome back. There have been street fighting in the Senegalese capital Dakar between police and students venting their anger against the killing of a demonstrator on Tuesday. The United Nations has already raised concern over the excessive use of force by authorities in the West African nation. Meanwhile, Dakar says criticism directed at it are groundless. For more on the reaction of France as well, let's go with the CFI report.
Stones against tear gas and rubber bullets. There was street fighting in Dakar on Wednesday between Senegalese police and students protesting the killing of a demonstrator on Tuesday. He was run over by a police truck.
We must call on the forces of order to stop killing people. We are not animals, we are human beings.
The United Nations has already expressed concern about the excessive use of force by the Senegalese authorities and asked for an official investigation. In Paris, the French Foreign Affairs Minister addressed the issue in Parliament. The tension in Senegal is also upsetting its former colonial power.
The Constitutional Council validated 14 candidates, including Mr. Wade, but not Youssou N'Dour. This triggered a number of demonstrations, sometimes peaceful, sometimes violent. What did I say? I said we regretted that certain sensibilities were not represented. We even said we would like to see if a change of generations could be organized. The message was heard in Dakar.
The Senegalese authorities were quick to respond. Dakar said it received no official notification of the positions taken by France and the US. Washington was first to publicly demand that Abdoulaye Wade step down.
The criticisms that were directed at us are groundless, false. These countries must learn to respect us. We are a sovereign country, a free country, which assumes its destiny in a responsible manner.
Is Abdoulaye Wade playing with fire, asks the Senegalese press. As protesters speak about a Senegal spring, the president is referring to their discontent as a temper tantrum, a breeze, he says, which will never turn into a hurricane.
It is one of the deadliest incidents in the history of football. More than 70 people have been left dead and 100 others injured in post-match clashes in Egypt. Although it seems premature to tell who is behind the violence, some say the attacks have been planned. An immediate investigation has been launched with the head of Egypt's Supreme Military Council vowing that the perpetrators will be brought to book. We have details in this report.
74 people at a football stadium and left hundreds injured was, of course, on all the front pages of Egypt's newspapers. The violence broke out after the home team beat a team from Cairo. It was one of the deadliest incidents in football history. Survivors described scenes of chaos.
We went into a tunnel. The doors were shut with chains. The lights were off and they started firing rubber bullets. I swear to God I saw people being thrown from the stadium steps.
The clashes erupted as soon as the referee blew the final whistle. According to witnesses, hundreds of fans of the local team, which had won the match 3-1, ran onto the pitch and threw rocks and bottles at Cairo supporters. The violence spiraled out of control. People were stabbed, some were thrown from stadium seats, some trampled. There was chaos and panic as players and fans ran in all directions to flee. The question Egyptians are asking themselves is how this could have happened.
It's difficult to imagine people in Port Said doing something like that after they won 3-1. I doubt they could do something like that. What took place was planned, but we don't know who was behind it.
That's a question that the Egyptian authorities are going to try to answer. The head of the ruling military council sent 2 planes to Port Said overnight to evacuate the injured. He also vowed to track down the culprits. An immediate investigation into the violence has been ordered.
Based on the results of the investigation, those involved will be tried fairly, and we will ensure that we track down the plotters of this incident.
Anger is mounting in Port Said. Some are alleging a plot to inflame nationwide unrest. The Muslim Brotherhood, the most important political force to emerge in post-Mubarak Egypt, has directly blamed the violence on supporters of the toppled dictator. The government held an emergency cabinet session Thursday.
And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. State House has issued a media release stating that the head of state has dissolved his cabinet. The Father Gov Foundation has rolled out a multi-million-dollar sports infrastructure project earmarked for St. Augustine Senior Secondary School. The deadliest incident in football post-match clashes in Egypt have left more than 70 people dead and hundreds of others injured. And Ivory Coast is moving to get rid of thousands of weapons in circulation, with a disarmament campaign being supervised by the United Nations Peacekeeping Mission. You can also follow those stories and the GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. That does it for this edition of the news. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs and join us at 10 for another bulletin.
sila felen dal be kutama soto ka ya mera ko wal dahan la nyaadi na duni jama be ji ni na da sama ko me motobar min kana bi ka dunno sate ko ko kana ne do jilli sate ko kama na ngaje ko nyimma gasino abeda ran nale pour nga ke silo kanja dum seni jamme ti stanongo Mr. Jamme ngaje kinwaro be lori jammi alon ko ite wala soto nyin project la karola lafte sa fanye ila soto ay mun nafa dal kete ni masin wonte nafa jambake ay nafa anim mo ko ton min alon ko kan defo falo be mbul barin kata musol la faroto ke mako e firola ani mo la kunkolto ila tepe to ani la motelto nin dun tawulo kono kabir somanda fo o'clock len kajina ñetti anam benn anam bi mooy jël néegi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo fi nekkoon te yàqu ñu defaraat leen ñu waree surtout magasin yi nga xam ne moom lañ jege ñanteel nii ñaareel bi moo di pour jox fii sécurité pour fu óor foo xam ne nit ki na fi mun a nekk mu am afia ñetteel bi moo di pour dimbale ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo fee liggéey agriculture pour ñuy mun di suxali suñ mbéytee fii di ko weesaare. ñaata néeg mën nañoo wax ñaata néeg lañ fee defar. ñu defaraat juróom-ñeenti néeg. néeg yi ñaari néeg yoo xam ne xale yi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo fi doon jàngee bu njëkk ñu ko